यते यन्मनोतु विधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावमिवाम्भसि. This is tongue twisting, all these letters over here in Sanskrit. Okay, who's going to read it? Premji, you want to read? You have the book. Oh, I need to do the Sanskrit part, right, first? Yeah. Let me do the Sanskrit part first. I just realized I didn't do that. And then you read it, okay? Indriyanam is the senses. He is for charatam is wandering. और ये word हम हिंदी स्पीकिंग लोगों को मालूम है ना, गाय चरने जाती है. Just keep that in mind. उसके wandering meaning घास खा रही है. Means इंद्रियां जो है ना, going after, eyes are going after all the things that eyes like. Ears, I want to hear this music, do this. Taste is, I want to eat all the rasgullas. That's what it means. Indriya chartam, wandering. Yat is which, mana is mind, anu vidhiyate follows. So the mind follows the indriya. Tad is that. Asya is his. Harati is carries away. Prajnam, discrimination. So here he's talking about that how the higher intellects get hijacked. That's the right word. Hijacked by your lower mind, and the lower mind is getting hijacked by the indriyas. So that's the sequence here. And versus the one who is a yukta person, his intellect is so firm, that's why it's called firm intellect. Sthita prajna, the person who's established in that. He's the one who's going to pull his mind in first, and the indriyas will follow automatically. So here it's ulta. Prajnam is discrimination. Vayu is the wind. Navam, everybody knows now what it means, boat. Iva, like a boat. Abhansi is in the water. Okay, so now you read.
For the mind which follows in the wake of wandering senses carries away his discrimination as the wind carries away a boat on the waters.
So this is what he's saying. Okay.
Just as a ship with a sail up and the helmsman dead would be completely at the mercy of the fitful storms and reckless waves, would not reach any definite harbor, but would get destroyed by the very tossing of the waves, so too life would be capsized and the individual drowned if his mind is unanchored and left to be carried hither and thither by the uncertain buffets of passionate sense storms. Therefore, the senses are to be controlled if a man is to live a better and more purposeful life designed and planned for enduring success.
So we have discussed everything in detail already. And here, when we talk about senses are to be controlled, we have to remember everything that we learned about this controlling of the senses. Not controlling them just for the heck of it, but controlling them with a purpose and not suppressing them, but sublimating them by satsang, by understanding. Because if you just do sense control without the other, it's going to jwalamukhi ki tarah phat padega wo, and you don't want that to happen. So when they talk about sense control, you cannot forget all the other verses. Otherwise, again, we'll be back to square one. Talking about, hey, let's do sense control. Let's control about this food, that food. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about sense control. वो अपने आप खींचा चलाएगा senses if you have a higher goal. And like we discussed in the worldly endeavors also, people, it's like all the athletes who are the superstars. उनकी भी जाके तुम जीवनी पढ़ो और उनसे बात करो तो वो यही बोलेंगे कि I was practicing 15 hours a day, whatever, that nothing else mattered to me at that time. All the Olympic guys and all that, or people who are like successful businessmen and all that, उनको ऐसे ही नहीं million or billion dollar बन गया. They were extremely focused people. Nothing else mattered to them but, what they wanted to achieve. Basically, they enjoyed what they did so much, and money was like a side effect of it. It's not like they wanted to become millionaire. They didn't even know. Some of these billionaires and all that, they just were so passionate about their work, nothing mattered to them. and then that's why the side effect happened as the companies became successful and all that. The same principle applies, but in the spiritual thing, obviously, if we want to study spiritual thing, it's a more subtle subject. And like one of the Swami was explaining, that you are going beyond your mind and senses. You are trying to transcend them. In that, when we talk about in meditation, you're trying to transcend them. So the question is, what does transcending mean? And we can understand a little bit about what transcending mean. It happens in our sleep. Is everybody connect to this, that in sleep we transcend our mind and intellect, everything. But the only difference in the sleep is we have no experience, because it's like a experience less. You have experience of nothingness. Everything is in the seed form. By meditation, you are transcending with the understanding and by being awake. So we all kind of, I should say that God has programmed us to transcend, but we do it like an automatic thing. We are not aware of it when we do it. But here in meditation, they are teaching you to transcend while you are awake. And to try to, and that's why they say in the beginning practices of meditation, they have given a lot of tips of a lot of different shlokas are going to come in Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 8, there is very beautiful what God is. It's going to start now from chapter 7. He's going to talk about meditation and, what to meditate upon. The next almost rest of the Gita, at least 6 chapters, they're going to have a lot of tips about when you sit in meditation, what you should focus on in the beginning. And then it's compared to that sleep, that you can prepare for the sleep, but when the sleep is going to come, nobody knows. You cannot force the sleep upon yourself. You can just prepare and the sleep will come. The same way in meditation, we keep preparing. One day, it'll dawn, we'll have the experience. That's what the Shastras say. So that's what we have to go towards. So with that, I'm going to stop the...
One thing, when you give the description of sleep, the only thing that comes to my mind is everything goes into the unmanifested or the beach state.
True.
Whereas in meditation, when you realize, when you're beyond the mind in the waking state, that means that is sort of the beach, or the other things are burnt out. There is nothing to come back to. Whereas when you get up, otherwise from sleep, everything comes back.
True. Exactly right. Yeah. But to me, the sleep example, the reason it kind of connected with me, sometimes we don't know how to describe the transcending of the mind and intellect. But in the sleep we can understand it very well, because अगर सोता हुआ आदमी को अगर वो बहुत गहरी नींद में सोया हुआ है, उसके सारे कनेक्शन टूटे हुए हैं उसकी बॉडी से, like you don't know where you are and all that, and sometimes you have to, there are certain indriyas which are very sensitive, and that's why when you speak very loud, then the person wakes up. Thank God for that, right? Otherwise we all will be sleeping. Or if you touch them and shake them, but a little bit of here and there, they don't even know, what is happening. So you have transcended it,
Yeah.
And you can only sleep when you transcend also. If you cannot transcend your body and mind, you cannot sleep.
Yeah.
So, the example में बस यही है कि उसका gist ले लो थोड़ा सा and move forward. कोई भी example perfect नहीं है, and they warn you in Vedanta that because they talk so much contradiction also. You will see that when the description of that Brahman is going to come, it's going to say it's very near to you and it's the farthest. That's how they describe it. So I can see Geeta is smiling because she knows all the shlokas, all that is going to come, and it's like if you're not kind of learned all these terms, a totally new person you give the Vedanta, they will say, what are they talking about? Make up your mind. Is it far or is it near? Don't confuse me, and they'll just walk out. So, but you have to catch it from both sides to understand this. That's what it is, Okay. So, any other thing? Anybody?
Yes, I think the comparison with sleep, that in sleep also you have to still your mind. If thoughts are running through your head, you cannot sleep at all.
Right.
Just like I think in meditation, unless you can be still, your mind can be still, you cannot sleep.
Right.
So
And
that,
then, very good point, and that brings me to that other point about prasad. प्रसाद जो बोला ना उन्होंने, तो ये वाला प्रसाद वो जो क्वाइटिट्यूड का प्रसाद है वही है, यू नो, कि how through the meditation you get that prasad or the meditation. It's like a chicken came first or egg came first. It's all connected. Happiness, prasad, meditation, and but that peace and quietude you can compare to what Miraji just said, that unless if I have a very racing thoughts, I won't be able to sleep. That's why sometimes people who can't sleep, that's what has happened. Something is bothering them to that extent that they can't shut down their thoughts. So that part of analogy also fits over here. Yeah, true. Okay. All right, so now we can go to Mandukya, and I was again so amazed at Mandukya, that how it is kind of coming in together with Bhagavad Gita, and some of the questions that are being raised in Bhagavad Gita, Mandukya की वजह से वो clear हो रहा है थोड़ा, like the whole path that I sent the picture of what we studied last time. So today, hopefully, we will be able to do 2 verses, because the second verse also is very, very correct in a sense that it is aligned with Bhagavad Gita right now. And some of the issues that we might be having, it sheds light on that, on those issues. Okay. Okay. Anybody has anything else, or should I move forward? Okay, let me take a sip of water.
Verses is that we should learn to how to discriminate. And when we are discriminating and meditating and getting to know our soul, then we get peace and we get and we make right decisions. So that's what we need to know how from our soul, and not from our senses.
Yeah.
And when you work with your soul and your intuition, then you have peace and you have happiness. And you can only do that through meditation.
True.
And the same thing, the thing about the boat is when you are sailing and you're controlling your senses, then you have bliss, and then you will naturally go towards the shore of the bliss if you're on the boat. So that's what I understood.
No, those. It's in line with what we are studying. True. And like there was a very interesting statement by Osho. He said the mind can only go in 2 different ways. One way is madness, and the other way is meditation. Now you chose where you want to go. So it's, because if you don't learn meditation, meaning we are talking in broad sense. Meditation means connecting with the higher and all that. If you don't do that, it's going to be indriya charne wali baat ho jayegi. It's going to go the other way. So now you choose where you want to be, madness or meditation. Okay. Here is a Om Bhadram. Everybody can say it together. Om Bhadram Karne Bishuniyam Devaha Bhadram Pashye Makshabherya Jatraha Sirai Range Sushtu Vagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vritashavaha Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Swastina Staksharyo Arishta Nemihi Swastino Bruhaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shri Guru Namaha.
Narayanam Padbhuvam Vasishtham Shaktincha Tatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Shishyam Shri Shankaracharya Mathasya Padmapadam Chahasta Malakancha Shishyam Tam Trotakam Vartika Karya Manyan Asmad Gurun Santata Manatosmi Asmad Gurun Santata Manatosmi. So the ones who came a little bit late in this Upanishad, this is a prayer in the beginning of chapter 4. There are 4 chapters in the Karika. So there are only 12 mantras in Mandukya Upanishad, but they are so power packed that if we just read the mantras by itself, we will miss a lot of things. So there is a commentary by Gaudapadji, it's called Karika. So every saint, sage, whenever they read Mandukya, they always read with the Karika. So that's what we are doing. And the 4th chapter is a summary of the first 3. And before we begin, there is a prayer, because this prayer tells you the lineage. It's telling you where this knowledge is coming from, straight from Narayan. And then there is a Guru Shishya Parampara. That's what it means, this particular prayer that we did. Because there are some concepts are so outlandish over here. If you have not studied, Vedanta very deeply, you will get very confused, because he says that there's no cause and effect and all that. And all these karmic theories are at a lower level. So he's saying, मैं मन गढ़ंत बात नहीं बोल रहा, it has come straight from Narayan. So it keeps our mind a little bit at ease. Then we have more Shraddha. And if we don't understand some concept, we try to understand it. So that's the context of this prayer. Okay, so we are at 91. We are actually coming close, because there are 100 verses in this last chapter, and we're already at 91. Okay. प्रकृत्याकाशवग्नेयाः सर्वे धर्मा अनादयः विद्यते न हि नानात्वं तेषां क्वचन किंचन. So this, it's a little bit heavy, but I'm going to tell you one analogy, because I think that probably is the best one. We have discussed this because he talked about it a lot. So it's like consciousness is all pervading, is in and through everything. And the closest that comes to consciousness, anybody remembers which element is the closest that comes to consciousness? Space. Because space is all pervading. Space gives us accommodation. Without space, we cannot live, right? We need space to be, alive and all those things. And space is in and through everything. So now when he gave the example of, पुराने ज़माने में वे मटके होते थे ना मिट्टी के, right? So different shapes are there. Now think about it. What has happened to the space? If there is a matka, there is a space inside the matka, right? In the pot. It looks like and we refer to as a pot space, but in reality, all the scientists maybe or engineers and all are here, is the space being cut? Yes or no?
No.
अच्छा, प्रेम जी सोचिए आप जरा, आप स्पेस को एक तलवार लेके काट सकते हैं क्या? नहीं ना. और अगर मटका फूट गया समझो, तो स्पेस को क्या हुआ? सेम. अच्छा, हमारा घर देख लो, हम लोग कितना अपने घर से जुड़े हुए. ओ माय गॉड, मेरा घर सिर्फ 4 दीवार ही लगाइए ना. और अगर किसी दिन पता नहीं, I mean, you have seen all of us have traveled around the world, gone to different countries. When we go ruins देखने को जाते हैं, पता नहीं वो कौन से टाइम पे कितने बड़े बड़े राजा महाराजा, पता नहीं कौन क्या क्या होगा. अब वो ruins में आधे तो सब टूट टाट के चले गए. तो क्या हुआ? स्पेस तो वही है. कभी एक दिन हमारा भी यही होएगा. Maybe San Diego will turn into something else after 1,000 years. We don't know. So if you remember that concept, you will understand this verse extremely well. और आपने जो प्रेम जी बोला ना कि कटी है स्पेस, दैट इज ट्रू, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ वी फील. व्हाट वेदांता सेज इज, हम लोग को लगता है कॉन्शियसनेस बट गई है, टूट गई है, एक नहीं है. लेकिन रियलिटी है कि वो एक ही है, लेकिन जब हम अपने शरीर में होते हैं तो हम लोग को सेपरेशन लगता है. वास्तव में कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है, स्पेस को कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है, एक न्यूक्लियर ब्लास्ट भी हो जाए सोचो तो हवा भली गंदी हो जाएगी. ट्रू, रेन में गेट बैड एंड वाटर में गेट बैड टेम्परली, वो भी. हाँ, इन elemental state nothing happens. That also we have to understand. पानी दूषित हो गया मगर H2O is still same in there. Somebody can clean it up. You know, so अगर न्यूक्लियर ब्लास्ट भी हो जाए तो वो स्पेस को कुछ नहीं कर सकता. So now you got it what he's trying to say, right? Everybody remember that, and now we will study and then you will know what he's talking about. So I'll do the Sanskrit part. Prakrutya is by nature, by the very nature. Akashvat, like the space. Gneya should be known. Sarve dharma, all entities. Here, the word sarve dharma means all of us, the souls. Okay, that's what he's referring to. Anadayaha, beginningless. Why he's saying? Because जो हमने characteristic of आत्मा या परमात्मा बोलो या कॉन्शियसनेस बोलो, जो हमने स्टडी किया है ना कि इट वॉज ऑलवेज देयर, नो बर्थ नो डेथ, हमारा भी वही है, लेकिन हम लोग को ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि वो हम मतलब अलग हो गए हैं. एंड दैट itself is called ego. When they say ego means I feel separate from the rest of it. That's what it means. So beginningless, anadaya, vidyate, appears or exists. Here is your exactly what Premji was saying. It appears to it that it got cut, but actually it is not cut. He is indeed, no is nanatvam, no variety means उसमें कोई जैसे स्पेस एक ही है, तुम उसके 1000 टुकड़े कर दो, मिलियन टुकड़े कर दो, लेकिन एक्चुअली में उसमें कुछ भी फर्क नहीं हुआ है. सो लाइक दैट, नो वैरायटी, देयर इज नो वैरायटी इन इट. तेषाम, अमंग देम, क्वचन, एट एनी टाइम, किंचन, एट ऑल. At any time at all, there is no breakage in the space. And the same way is consciousness, the same way is our own pure nature is like that. So from that perspective, let's read it now. Who would like to read? Shireen, you want to read?
Okay. All entities are by their very nature beginningless and unattached like the space. There is not the slightest variety, plurality in them in any way at any time.
So now everybody understood what he's trying to say. You know, anytime, anyway, no plurality. It is all entities, all of us. Actually, in that sense, we are one only, and there is no homogeneous genius, like they say. Okay, go ahead.
From the standpoint of the ultimate reality that is viewed from the Turiya, the world of delusion available for recognition in the lower 3 planes of the ordinary consciousness is not cognizable in the realm of the subject. The world of objects merge and melt to become the one without a second. The perceptible world, constituting the sense objects, the mental feelings, and the intellectual ideas, are all available only for the egocentric perceiver in us. This perceiver is produced when consciousness, the reality, projects itself through the equipments of the mind and intellect.
So here, there are many things in this. This last sentence that you just read, the perceiver is produced when consciousness, the reality, projects itself through the equipment of mind and intellect. Do you remember I told you when we were doing Bhagavad Gita just a little while ago that this is where the consciousness shines through? So here it's telling you. So when it shines through our mind, immediately uska separation ho jata hai. And one of the very good example that came to my mind just now is the light is white light when it comes, and when it goes through the prism, it becomes 7 lights, a rainbow and all that, right? Light may, so it just divides, but actual uska nature is just one, but it appears as though it is like that. That's one example. And the other example I was thinking of is, suppose we have glass bottles in our house which are different colors, and they are translucent, yellow, green, red, and then we pour water in it, and from outside what does it look like? The water looks colored. And if blue water, green water, and all अपना ही देख लो, ये ocean, actually the blue color ocean का नहीं है. Everybody agrees. You bring the ocean water at home, it will be clear if there is no too much dirt in it. So that's what he's talking about, that it appears like that because it is going through our mind and intellect. हमारी mind and intellect में जितनी भी संस्कार है ना, उसके क्या बोलते हैं, उसका चश्मा लगा के हम लोग दुनिया को देखते हैं, राइट? हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि we see with इंग्लिश में भी है, we see with colored glasses we are seeing the world. And but what happens to those saints and sages? Their glasses are completely clear. That's why they do not see the difference like we do. They do not do the judgment like we do. ये अच्छा है, वो अच्छा है, मैं हिंदू, तू मुसलमान, ये है, वो है. They are sitting at such a high level, those sthita prajnas, उनको बस humanity दिखाई देती है. That's why a lot of people, like Sadhguru or even Chinmayanand ji, a lot of Muslims followed him too. There was nothing. उन्होंने हिंदू का झंडा लगाया because he said कि हमारे शास्त्रों में बहुत अच्छा कहा गया, पर उनके followers सभी थे. Because you are looking at just the knowledge. You're not looking at from the religious perspective. You're looking at the knowledge perspective. That's why, And then one very famous thing about him was, I don't know, I may have shared it. I thought it was so beautiful. So he was in America. So a lot of Americans started following him. And one of them one day came to him saying, Swamiji, I want to become a Hindu. He said, why? He said, will you change your mother? And he was like, no. He said, then what should I do, Swamiji? I connect with this thing. Go become a better Christian. Come here to my this thing and go become a better Christian. You don't need to change your religion. And a lot of times, like Yoganandji, Kamlaji goes over there. He will take the Bible and he will tell the meaning better than even Christians can give the sermons. Because he's taking the wisdom and he's explaining it's the same thing they are saying, but some people interpret it so badly, and they do these differences and all that. So that's where this whole thing comes, that it is oneness and they are seeing it through that highest reality. That's what he's referring to over here. I hope that makes sense. What it is, right? Okay. Yeah, Kamla ji, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm saying that I hope people can understand this. Spirituality is beyond religion. It started when we came in existence. And later on, we created the religion depending on our convenience.
See, when it comes to religion, I'm not denouncing it at all, because some people need that fixed thing to go to, okay? It has a tremendous value. We should not. But when they take it wrong, but then a religion should unite, not divide.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we learned in Chinmaya Mission, which was very beautiful, was spirituality is the goal and religion is a vehicle to get there. That's all it is. So the goal is not, कोई religious बन गया, कोई Hindu बन गया. वो goal नहीं है हमारा. In fact, when we are born, हमारे माथे पे नहीं लिखा रहता है मैं हिंदू हूँ या मैं, just because I was born in that family. And जब बच्चे बदल जाते हैं, पता नहीं क्या क्या होता है, तो वो एक मुसलमान हिंदू के घर में पल रहा है, तो हिस्ट्री में हो चुका है, 100% हो चुका है. So it's like we have given that, but yes, it gives us some place to start with, and then like one time, I had this discussion with somebody when I had joined Chinmaya Mission. I started learning few things. I started getting confidence a little bit, So, and all these not evangelists, क्या बोलते हैं उनको, वो जो आते हैं अपने घर में?
Mormons.
Not only Mormons, Christians भी आते हैं. I mean, they're doing, they want people to get their happiness, what they feel and all that.
Mormons.
So they say, they want उनको convert करना चाहते हैं, right? हमें
Missionaries.
missionaries. So missionaries come and so he said, oh, have you heard about Jesus? And I said, yeah. So he said, oh, you believe in Jesus? So I said, yeah, of course I do. And he was like totally like surprised. And then he started giving me books and all that. I said, well, if you want to give me, fine, but I have to study my own stuff first. So and then we started having a discussion. So I said, don't you think that your Jesus kind of Jesus is very intelligent. Jesus knows everything. Oh, yes. So Jesus is the one, who maybe made me born in an Indian family and a Hindu. So this is not just by accident. God knows where my progress will be the better. And he was just like totally stunned, and he didn't know what to say, because they don't think it that way. That, hey, your God is as merciful as this thing, because the same God. So if he has put me in a Hindu family, maybe there is a reason. I don't need to go anywhere else, So that's what it is, that if you understand, that's called clarity of thoughts, because like our teacher used to focus on that a lot, that you have to have a clarity in your mind. Then you will not get confused by different people and what they're saying. You will feel the harmony, And the other analogy, I loved it, was that there was this Chinese guy, it seems, a Buddhist. So he went to Europe, okay? And this is a very good drishtant. So like all of us, he was walking around on the street and all that. Then एक church था, तो वहाँ चला गया अंदर, बहुत beautiful था. So he felt very nice and peaceful, and he sat down. And then उनका program शुरू हुआ. तो वो priest आया, जो भी बोलते हैं उनको, the evangelist who was standing up there, he started giving his sermon. So ये सुनने लगा, और फिर उसकी आंखों में आंसू आने लगे. So the guy who was sitting next to him, he's saying, why are you crying? He said, my Buddha is speaking. So I thought that was such a beautiful analogy, that he felt that his Buddha was speaking to him, but he was sitting in a Christian place. So that's what it is, that it's like the oneness. Where's the difference and all that? Okay, go ahead.
Reality putting on the vestures of matter plays the part of the foolish mortal, to whom alone is the cognizable world of plurality a painful reality. With the transcendence of the equipments, the perceiver disappears, and with the perceiver, the perceived also. Thus, the stanza says that the very essential nature of the entities is immortal. They are eternally untouched by any limitations, same as the space and the parts. The analogy of the space and the part space has already been thoroughly discussed in the earlier chapter.
So we discussed that, remember, pot and space. That's what he's saying. Transcending so even, obviously we are in this body. So हम लोग ये शरीर से कैसे बाहर निकलेंगे? We just transcend it. We think of it from a different perspective. Then that's called transcending it. When I don't feel the limitation, so don't get confused with कि जो self-realize हो जाता है, उसकी body नहीं रहती है. No, that's not what they're talking about. Now he understands the relationship between the body and that consciousness and all that. He has he's established in that understanding. हम लोग की understanding थोड़ी shaky है अभी. When we start transacting with the world, हम वापस भूल जाते हैं. मेरा क्या होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. किसी ने सेंड ने बोला क्या हो जाएगा, at the most मर जाएगा, शरीर चला जाएगा, तू तो नहीं मरने वाला. So it's like, that's what it is. Somebody was talking about this joke about old age, right? Meera ji put that joke. So I said, in the Vedantic concept, they'll say, okay, if you have a sharir, there are 6 dharmas of the sharir. One of them is old age and disease and death. I think the Vedantic class is the only place where we talk about death like just, example is given in Kathopani, like a chutney, they call it. Abhi, I think Meera ji has, not Meera ji, Meena ji is listening to that. He said that this world is like a cooked bhat. Bhat means rice. So it's like a cooked rice, because when you eat the rice, it becomes one with you. So like Brahman, when the Brahman eats the rice, it's gone. But with that bhat, you need a chutney to make it tasty. Death ko wo bataya unhone. Imagine. Well, without death, we don't have that balance in life. अगर सभी लोग बहुत दिनों तक जिएंगे, बहुत लंबा जिएंगे, तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा हमारे ग्रेट ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन को. So that cycle is very important, you know.
Yes, death is like a vacation, a holiday.
Yes. So here we can laugh about it and we can do all that, which is really great, right? So that's how we get over fear of it a little bit, you know, of old age, death, disease, and okay, it is part of the body. Who cares after a while?
What do you mean fear? We don't fear with it.
Hey, if everybody will be in your shoe, we'll be laughing all the time. That's good. We need to. Okay. So,
तो फिर तो कोविड का डर भी नहीं रहेगा.
नहीं रहना चाहिए कोविड का डर, बिकॉज इसीलिए ना, बिकॉज हम लोग इसीलिए पढ़ रहे हैं ये कि वो इन्होंने क्या बोला, यू विल गेट ओवर ऑल द सॉरोज इवन आदि दैविक. That's why the COVID का भी आपको आया है तो you have to face it and do whatever is right thing to do and everything. But we don't need to be, because one of the biggest problem in the Western countries are they're fearful, so fearful. I mean, I saw that what Neelu ji sent, that Navy का people ने कितना सुंदर उन्होंने वो मतलब they put their energy at such a positive thing. That they gave all the salute to all the people who are working, and कितना उनको उत्साह मिलेगा. The people who are working for COVID, because that they are in the dangerous zone. We are, sitting in our homes and all, but people who are in the medical field, essential workers and all that, they are like soldiers right now, if you ask me. They are where Arjun is, But so we need to encourage them, and I think if you put your energy at the right place, you won't have fear then. Say, okay, it is there, let me face it, That's how we have to look at it. Okay, so the last paragraph.
In the ultimate truth, which is the homogeneous experience of selfhood, there's no touch of the plurality at any time or of any manner. The pluralistic world of objects is nothing but the shattering of the consciousness when it passes through the refracting medium of the mind and intellect.
So here, this explains everything that we are discussing. जब mind and intellect के through जब वो consciousness जाती है, तो वो divide ऐसे appear होता है कि वो divide हो रही है. Okay, that's the most important thing. And I think that analogy of a light going through a prisma is a beautiful one, because when it goes through the prisma, our mind is like a prisma. It divides. So enjoy the world, but know extremely well that there is oneness and everybody is one. If we can take that much from this verse, it will help us a lot. Okay? So let's go to the next verse. Whatever we can do, 10-15 minutes. And if we cannot finish, we will stop. Adi Buddha Prakrutyaiva. Adi Buddha Prakrutyaiva. Sarve Dharma Sunishchitaha. Sarve Dharma Sunishchitaha. Yasyaivam bhavati kshantihi. Yasyaivam bhavati shantihi. Somrutattvaya kalpate. Somrutattvaya kalpate. Now you will see the similarity of what we learned in Bhagavad Gita just now, how it is going to come over here. Adi is from the very beginning. Buddha is illumined one. So now you know how the word Buddha Bhagwan got the word Buddha, illumined one, who knows the truth. Prakrutya eva, by their very nature, sarve dharma, all egocentric entities or souls, means us. Sunishchitaha, immutable, means उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं होता है. Yasya, who, evam, with this knowledge, bhavati, remains, shanti, rest. If you get this knowledge, that's the only way to feel shanti. And when you get the shanti, you will get happiness. See that how the connection is? Shanti ko rest or calmness, दोनों बताया गया. Sa is the person, amrutvaya, of immortality, of realizing the highest. Kalpate is capable of. Okay, so the whole teaching that we just now did is coming up over here. Okay, who wants to read this? किसके पास है किताब? मीरा जी?
All egocentric entities are, by their very nature, illumined from the very beginning and they are ever immutable in their nature. He who, with this knowledge, rests without seeking further knowledge is alone capable of realizing the highest truth.
Okay, so here he's going to tell you, basically he's going to tell you that we all are, we studied in the previous verse, that by nature, we are all illumined from the very beginning. We are consciousness, huh? And we are immutable means हमारे में कोई फर्क नहीं आएगा, कुछ भी हो जाएगा इस दुनिया में, real us is not going to be affected. That's one. And who has this knowledge, जो इसी knowledge में रम जाता है ना, फिर वो दुनिया की knowledge के पीछे नहीं भागता है. That's when you get the shanti. Because one of the ashanti का कारण है, I want to know this, I want to know that, and all that, right? Like Swamiji one time in one of the lectures, he said, okay, you say you want to know everything in the world. So what is your profession? So he said, law. So he said, acha, so you know law of everything? He said, no. I know law of, he said, you know law of India and all the other countries? No. I only know law of America. So, oh, you know all the law of America? No, I don't know all the law. I know tax law. You know, you see, there are hundreds of other laws. See how, like, we think that we want to know everything. We have to be a complete fool to think that मेरे को सब कुछ मालूम पड़ जाएगा. You know, impossible. So this our quest, unnecessarily running after, I want to know this. That is programmed in us because we are looking for that infinity. And we can never feel satisfied, and we keep running after this small worldly knowledge. He said that if you get that infinite, if you understand it's infinite, your mind suddenly rests. You know? So don't misunderstand that, but oh, I don't want to study. And then he's not talking about that. He's talking to a general restlessness hoti hai hamare mein. I want to know this, that. Wo khatam ho jayegi. That's what he's talking about. Kamla ji.
That's the answer of my thing.
Yes.
I always tell you that I don't want to get the book. And the reason is like, I want to grasp whatever I can grasp through this class. And
True, but it's just to tell you that the book in this context is only going to help you, because this book is not talking about any other garbage in the world. It's telling you your Atma Gyan. This book, that's why they call this book so sacred. I mean, in that Sikhism, they actually take the book and they do puja on it. Because my God, the Brahma Gyan उसमें निहित है. So अगर कोई दुनिया में कभी भी कोई किताब लेनी हो ना, for God's sake ऐसी वाली किताब लो. Baki jo novel, magazine, and I'll just throw them away because they're absolutely useless. But if you have to bring one book, because we are in the physical body, Kamla ji. अगर आपकी मेधा शक्ति इतनी महान है कि भाई वो पुराने ज़माने में वो लोग वेद चारों याद कर लेते थे, we don't need the book. I agree. But if you are not there, that's when you need it. Because if I want to refer to something, I cannot go to my Medha Shakti anymore. 5,000 years ago, they knew that. That's why Ved Vyasji compiled all the Vedas. Before 5,000 years ago, it was not in written form. It was not compiled. It was done because they knew that in Kali Yuga, our Medha Shakti is going to go down. Our memories are going to go down. There are people in today's world also. In Chinmaya Mission, you know, there are once in a while, a small child memorizes Geeta like this. The whole 20, 30 shlokas. That is like only 4 or 5 year old. But you know, there are people like our Lakshmi Sukumar ji. She पता नहीं क्या क्या उनको याद है सारा. उनकी मेधा शक्ति है strong, लेकिन हम लोग उस जगह पे नहीं हैं. इसके लिए book चाहिए. I hope that answers your question. Why we need this book right now? Okay, because if I want to refer, I cannot depend on my memory right now. Okay. So from that perspective, let's go further.
Seekers, having gained the knowledge of Shastras as discoursed upon by their teachers, must reach in its fulfillment a sense of mental contentment and a growing faith. After the study of philosophy, if the seeker is still doubtful as to the goal and the path, he is not yet fit for any intense practice. It is absolutely necessary that the intellectual entity in him must first of all discover a complete satisfaction at the aim and goal of philosophy as explained to him by his teacher. If there are great doubts and misgivings in the reasoning or in the arguments of the master, no student can feel himself completely inspired as to follow sincerely and intensely the ardent path of self realization.
So he's talking
The,
about, he's talking about here, the mental contentment and growing faith. And there are so many people who have said so many beautiful things about Shraddha. I think it was Rabindranath Tagore. I don't know if you've heard of that, saying, how he described Shraddha. He's saying Shraddha is, I'll just tell you the gist of it. I may not know the exact words, but the gist of it is Shraddha is that bird which sings at dawn before the sun arrives. What does it tell you? They know it's going to come for sure. They have no doubt. So Shraddha is when we study the scriptures and all that, certain concepts suddenly like shatters your other beliefs. Like, for example, I remember that when we first started the study group, group of friends, दो तीन और ladies थे मेरे साथ. We started first time and I don't know what it is and all that. We go there and our teacher said, okay, you are not the body. And I still remember my friend Madhu, she went home and said,